Hey everyone, this is Mitch Dyer, and I am joined by James Faulkner.
Hello.
James, the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Ember teaser trailer came out today.
Yeah, it did.
So we're going to run it down, we're going to pick it apart, we're going to see what we can't find. Early on, you know, it's just a lot of live action footage, not a lot here to see, huh?
Yeah, a bunch of stock footage.
You can just see some bicycle men, and some needle men, some baseball men, some sports. It's basically hitting on a lot of the same themes that that Black Ops 2 did. Mm-hmm. You know, the humanist stuff, and worrying about the advancements of technology, and that is the theme for Black Ops 3, you know, what happens when our own technology gets out of our control.
Right, it's a very common theme that we see, at least in the past, of post-humanism, of like what it means to be human when your body stops being completely organic.
Yeah, and this is just basically the beginning of this starts out. I like the arc of this. It's very up until our present. It's very optimistic and inspiring about the advancements of technology, helping people. But at this point, we start to see stuff kind of turn on humanity.
Right, like the religious and political effects of what it is to be human.
Yeah, and I mean, a minute into this trailer, we get to this point where it's 2025, which is when Black Ops 2 was set. We saw a little bit of this last time we saw Black Ops. You know, the world's tensions between like athletes and just general humanity and how they interact with modified body parts. And as we move forward, we see that tension has grown considerably.
Yeah.
I do dig this. The 2028 Olympics in Nairobi with the first ever gold medal winning robot lady.
Again, and like a lot of Call of Duty, it's like ripped from the headlines. There were some articles last year about a runner who had modified legs, and we'll see some other stuff that is very much like ripped from the headlines. It's very much taking from what happened the last 2 years.
And I do think it is interesting subject matter. I know we do see it a lot in stuff like Deus Ex, and we see it in Black Ops 2 had it. Now, hey, Black Ops 3 is going to have even more of it, getting worse. But it is an interesting subject to think of. Like, this is a striking image, you know, an Olympian with robot legs winning gold. That poses a lot of really fascinating questions.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I want to start slowing down here. I want to take a look at some of these locations and animals and stuff. I don't know what the implication is here. I mean, we see a little bit later on there's the eye thing that the basketball player has.
So I'm assuming like this is them taking inspiration from animals. Like they're looking at like maybe Bluebird is like the security system, but they're taking maybe they're talking about like privacy and like people looking in on your lives. It could be drawing on any number of security or privacy related issues.
And there's some stuff here. I mean, I don't want to jump to too many conclusions here, but we do see a lot of locations, and I don't know if that means we're going to see them in the game. Like, I don't know if we're going to see Nairobi. I don't know if we're going to go to Cairo, but it's interesting just to see. Obviously, Call of Duty is a very global kind of game.
Yep.
It does happen across the world, so it's not surprising that the trailer reflects that a little bit.
So this is important right here, what the guy's saying.
Literally, share your thoughts with someone else.
Oh, it's what you and I do on a daily basis, which is share our thoughts via computers.
Yeah.
With each other, our deepest, darkest secrets. Yeah, so I actually wonder how this will have an effect on gameplay. Like, will you have technology that allows you and your squad to be better informed with each other? Like, will that be visually represented by you being able to like see through walls to see where your guys are?
Right. Yeah. If you're even like just jumping from brain to brain. If that's like part of, I mean, Call of Duty tends to be single protagonist, but or single protagonist at least when you're playing. Like, they don't jump around usually within one level.
That's really interesting that could be a possibility too.
Yeah.
So here we see Coalescence Corporation. This is definitely going to be, I mean, given the attention it gets in this trailer and the way the media talks about Coalescence is going to be a major factor in the narrative for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The world is turning on them. Like, here you see their stock rising, and hey, they're doing some really interesting technological things. And then things just go very badly for Coalescence.
Yeah. This is a very like Nike-inspired trailer.
Very much, yeah.
Where they're trying to sell you your product as like, it's totally okay that we're now all enhanced.
Yeah, and this is interesting. If you go to this website, the Court Optic 2055, I love that it's Court Optic. Like, this is designed for basketball players.
Yeah.
Something like it's not just something you would wear if you're like, oh, I'm an engineer, so this is useless to me.
Yeah.
But this website, it's actually disappointing. I'm curious to see if it'll evolve over time. But right now, it is just it just plays back this trailer section. It just plays back like the dude saying he can see everything.
That'd be fun to see some additional stuff.
Yeah. This has got to be stock footage.
Yeah, a lot of it is. It's like, here's some lava and a building to get destroyed. This looks...
It says Guangzhou facility, so maybe this is somewhere in China? I don't know what that Gongju means.
Yeah, this looks like more European architecture.
It does. If only we were more educated, James.
Yeah, well, I mean, the architecture looks close enough to like European architecture.
Sure,
I think maybe they're just like they had some placement text that they just threw in there.
That could be. I mean, it could also be like that could be a building on like the border of like Russia going into actual Asia.
True.
So we're getting deeper into the 2060s, which hang on, James. Hang on, you pointed at the screen in real
Sharks?
life. Just some sharks.
All right.
Got a cool dog. What do you feel about this dog? Just
It's so sad.
Look at her. She's just like walking around in the crosswalk alone. It's so sad. Moving on to some sharks. Yeah, we're into the 2060s.
Yeah.
We're seeing that there are more riots across the world.
Pause this for a second. Roll back.
Yeah.
Low mission.
No idea. Can't ping a location here. I
Yeah.
don't see like languages anywhere.
I'm assuming we'll see like maybe we're gonna see some like Eastern Europe.
Sure. Yeah.
It kind of seems maybe Africa because we've had a couple references to Africa already.
Yeah, and that could be interesting to see like how a third world country responds to the rest of the world's robotics.
Right. Yeah, it's funny that we haven't had advanced warfare.
Is that the Nigerian flag?
I couldn't say one way or the other.
There's no Google here to help us.
It may be.
I'm
Yeah.
just catching it now, so I can't like pretend I know anything. Again, I mean, this is basically just establishing a tone. The world is rioting. The entire world is unhappy with what's going on with robotics in the world. And as we start to learn here, I mean, we see like Zurich here. Military machines, very advanced looking technology, Hadron Collider-esque.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a shot of
the Hadron Collider, yeah.
This is a weird shot of just a dude standing against the light.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I mean, it zooms in on his hands a little bit. Like
the
hands look a little strange. Like it might be just a dude with enormous hands, but they look a little sharp on the edges. Like maybe it's robotic hands, but I don't know. It's just a cool, striking shot. And then everything kind of comes back to, as Call of Duty often does, America.
Yeah.
As we get to 2065, which I would bet a significant amount of my limbs that this is gonna be the time that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is set. It's gonna be what is that? 40 years after Black Ops 2.
Yeah, around that.
So our old men from Black Ops 2 are almost certainly dead.
I mean, I guess like they're doing the thing where they're jumping forward. They did from Vietnam. Forward.
Sure.
Like they're jumping forward through generations. I'm assuming you're either you're playing as like Mason's kids.
Sure. Yeah, and there's nothing to preclude flashbacks, right? Like I mean, the Black Ops games are. That's what they do. So it could be your 2065, your Mason's whatever great-grandchildren doing whatever, and then you go back to discover what happened to Mason. What happened in the world to lead to this? Hey, this villain started out as this guy, maybe at Coalescence, and became whatever. Like there's all sorts of stuff.
The numbers, Mason.
I do love this Edward Snowden guy.
Yeah, the Edward Snowden. Yeah, again, we're talking about ripped from the headlines. This is
sure.
If you don't know, Edward Snowden was the guy who leaked a bunch of classified documents. So
I like that they found the first actor that like, yeah,
close
enough.
You got some facial hair, you got some glasses, you got short brown hair. You're
Where
good.
are these? And he's basically his rant here is digging. Like the farther we get into the trailer, the more I think it's cluing us into what Black Ops 3 is about.
Right.
Super soldiers, government modified humans who are like taking on special abilities with modifications.
I'd mentioned to you before. I thought the president kind of looked like Kelsey Grammer.
A little bit. He does have like a little bit of Fraser going on.
Yeah.
Old man Kelsey Grammer's great.
Yeah.
His career took an interesting turn. I love it.
And this is pretty much like the truest look of it, like what we're probably gonna see.
Yeah, some very like Terminator, hunter-killer drone style helicopters here flying through. Some soldier mans.
Yeah, and then this is like kind of like really shows like I think what what you're seeing here. This guy has multiple prosthetic limbs.
Right, like they're not lighting up. Right, like his arms and legs are robotic, whereas the other guy is purely human.
Yeah, but
this is happening. The only question that remains.
So I'm wondering if this is this our main guy? I would assume it's somebody. I don't know if it's like an actor we're supposed to recognize, but I certainly don't know who that could be. I don't know. Like this is just a dude to me.
I don't think so. I'm thinking this is just one of like, or maybe it is, but like, it is a Black Ops soldier.
Yeah.
And if you roll forward here, do they all like? Cause they're about to notice whoever is filming them. Okay.
Oh yeah, does the camera? Yeah, I didn't notice that. Like, is this shot the thermal shot? Or does this guy get taken down? Yeah, looks like he gets taken out.
And so what I'm thinking is that it's not this guy. It's not the guy that we're pointing the camera at shooting him. It's whoever else is on his team that we see off to the left. Because like if he just sees him, he can automatically send. There's a guy there pointing a thermal camera.
Good point,
at us.
right? Like, because you can send his thoughts. So that's the Ember Black Ops 3 trailer.
Yeah.
World reveal, James, coming Sunday, April 26th, one day after my birthday.
Mhm.
We're going to have a whole lot more for you here on Black Ops on IGN. And for all things Call of Duty, stay tuned to IGN.